Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Leopard with Higher Hertz, and today I want to talk about rosin. Specifically, this rosin, Cecilia Solo rosin. It's a very popular rosin, and I think with good reason, because it delivers both a very bold sound and a very warm sound, which is kind of the holy grail of rosins. Now, if you don't already know, the significance of rosin is that without it, there is no sound. There are microscopic hooks in the hairs of the bow, but those hooks themselves are not strong enough to actually pull the string. Instead, what the rosin does is it sticks to those hooks and then itself is responsible for the strings actually moving. So a lot of people don't fully realize this, even though they notice that the rosin does leave residue on the strings. And a lot of people don't really think about it because it's kind of obvious to most people that how good your cello is can make a big difference. But it's not always so obvious that the bow is like a crucial component of the sound, not just the articulations, but the literal tone and even volume, because the bow can also vibrate. So rosin itself is a very critical component of that as well. And one thing that's important to remember about rosins is there's not so much a right or wrong. There's what works for you and your cello and bow, and there's also what works in your particular climate or a time of year. So I actually like keeping several different rosins around so that I can use them for different purposes. And hopefully over the course of the next few videos talking about different rosins, you'll start to get an idea of how you might too be able to best access the best of your playing just through some rosin. And given that these things are anywhere from $10 to $30, that's a pretty low investment compared to even a new bow, let alone a new cello. So let's get a baseline sound for how I'm playing. I haven't recently rosined. I do have some rosin residue on the strings. However, I think it's going to be negligible compared to what we're going to add when we put on a few swipes of the Cecilia. We can really hear a before and after. So here's what it sounds like right now. I'm just going to play the beginning of the first box sweep. Okay, so we can hear that we've got, a decent sound going, it sounds like a cello. Maybe, there's some roughness going on, overall decent projection. But let's see what will happen when we add a little bit of Cecilia to the top of what we have going on. Or else I couldn't actually see what I was doing. But I like putting the bow down as opposed to moving the bow across the rosin because you get a lot more control that way. All right, I got a little carried away there, which I think is a good sign. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it definitely sounds in the room like this is already louder, which could just be the result of new, fresher rosin on the hairs, and it definitely could also be that. But hopefully you guys also heard a tonal difference, or at least a tonal improvement having the freshly applied Cecilia rosin. This is a really nice rosin for just being able to get that bigger and bold sound, but not too harsh or too crisp. Now let me wipe off the strings and hear what it sounds like without the rosin residue on the strings. So you can hear there, if you are feeling like, your playing is a little too dirty and you see that rosin, you can always wipe it off and that's going to help a lot with that. But the flip side of that is, I think it's a little bit harder to feel like I can really flow. I have to stay in the string because there's not already rosin on the strings that's going to help the bow move. So I think it's helpful to not have no rosin on your strings, but even to just start by as a means of just kind of covering your strings in a little bit more rosin, and then you're able to get something that I think responds a little better. So again, one of the considerations with different rosins is what type of climate are you in? And I think this must be a little bit more of a humid environment where I am right now. I'm certainly close to the coast because this is almost too harsh of a rosin. And, different types of humidity even can make a difference, but just in where I am right now, I think going for a lighter rosin would make more sense for the room that I'm in and in the part of the country that I'm in, than just the general ecosystem that I'm in. However, that being said, it's really nice to have this rosin around because you can just give like one swipe of it on top of a different rosin and you're going to get that really nice, bold sound. You don't have to overthink it too much. So I definitely highly recommend this rosin. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Like, it's already really great, but I also think that you should probably have another rosin as well. Having a dark rosin and a light rosin is a really great way to go because the dark rosins are going to give you a bolder, crisper sound, and the lighter rosins are going to not grab the strings so much, so they're good for a smoother sound. And if you find the right ones, you can really get, a great tonality. And I've even known people who have melted rosins together just to try to get the best of both. You can do that, but you can also just use 2 different rosins. Anyway, that about wraps up this video talking about Cecilia Solo rosin. If you want to buy it, you can get it on Amazon through the links below. And keep watching our videos for more lesson reviews. Let us know what you'd like to learn about cello, and we'll try to make it happen for you guys. See you in the next video. Thanks again.